Another new effect they've added in is meant to help out in situations like this. So imagine here I am yakking away, blah blah blah. God, I really wish I want to chop out this middle sentence. I just go on too much. Easy to do. I can just mark an in point and an out point around the bit I want to get rid of, and I can press extract or the hash key, play it back, and obviously we've got a bit of a jump cut there because I've cut something out in the middle. Normally I would find something to go over the top of it just to obscure it. What Adobe have done is they've added in a filter called a morph cut. Throw that onto the clip, and what it does is it analyzes the clip and then it tries to morph between the two. Now it goes on at the default of a second, which to be perfectly honest is probably a bit much. You really probably ought to shorten this down. There's my second's worth of transition. Let's have a look at it. Okay, finding it a bit difficult to tell how well it worked here because obviously it needs a bit of rendering. So let me just mark an in and an out point around it and render. But when it's starting to stutter like that, not entirely sure whether it works properly. Okay, well that's an occasion when the morph cut just worked. There's a little bit of jiggery pokery going on there, which is a bit odd, but I can probably get away with it. Most of the time I find the morph cut works better if you make it shorter. So I'm going to trim the edge of the transition. Again, they've changed slightly the way you can trim transitions. If I come up and grab the edge here, you'll notice it starts getting smaller on both sides, which is quite nice. Still centered on the cut, but it's got smaller. And I've knocked it down to about 9 frames. It's going to have to do the analysis again, so I can't see it properly until it's analyzed it. It says analyzing the background. It's a bit like the warp stabilizer. It'll analyze stuff for you. You can get on with something else and come back to it. But anyway, it's done. Let's render that bit. Be still my fluttering eyes. Yeah, you can see actually that shorter, which is what I'd normally do, shorter normally tends to work better. In this case, doesn't work nearly as well. I think I need to go a little bit longer. The second look fairly fine, apart from the odd little bit of flickering here. That's a new thing they've put in, which is nice. I say I've used it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the time I go back to the traditional method of just having a cutaway to get rid of some rubbish I don't want to see.